Hey there, glad you could join me in the shop today. About 3 weeks ago, a group of us made a wood run. We drove to about 10 miles from the Virginia border, a long drive from here. But anyway you go from here, you got a long drive to get good wood. Kind of disappointed when we got there. It wasn't as good as it used to be. But they had a couple of sticks of wood that was relatively cheap. They said were pretty wood, and I've never heard of it before. It's called red maple wood. So I got one of the sticks, and I thought today I'd make a little bowl from it to see what it really looks like when it's turned. Well, it's 5 3/4 wide, so I figured I'd make a 5 1/2 inch base. But one edge had a lot of cracks in it, so I cut it down to 5 inch. But then I'm looking at it, and I can still see cracks in it. So I'm going to give up on the idea of using this for a base. I should be able to get some good segments from it though along the edge. I'm hoping. We'll see. So I said, well, I'll use another wood for the base and just use that for the segmented rings on it. So I got some nice Ganklo alves. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. Ganclo, one word, Alves, the other word. But it's nice wood, and it's hard. It's got a nice color to it, not bad. So I'm going to use it as a base. And it's about 6 inches. I'm going to probably cut it down to about 5 1/2 inch base. And I'm going to just make a very simple turning. I'm going to use this right here and just make a real simple turning with it. The first ring will have to have some wide segments, but after that the next two ring segments can be narrow. I didn't even bother drawing it in same width as that. That's 3/4. I'll probably cut them closer to 1 inch. Give me some room to play. But so that's what I'm going to do today. We'll see how this wood looks if I can get some good segments from it. It's got some cracks in it. I think I can. So, first thing I'm going to do is turn my base for the chuck, same way I always do. Put it in the coal jaws, put a mortise in the center, turn a ring around the edge to guide the bandsaw it, and then put it in the chuck. So I'm going to get on with that. I'm going to set the coal jaws up to hold it. I got the good pins in the big coal jaws right now. I'm going to have to move it to a smaller coal jaws. So I'm going to set it up and turn this. Got a pencil line right here where I want the mortise. I got another here around the edge. I'm going to use a parting tool, just put a groove here on the edge. I'm going to also put a groove where I want the mortise. Then I'll just take out the inside of the mortise. Then I'll put a dovetail in it. That way I can put it on the chuck. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this out. I've got a good mortise in it, a little bit deeper than what I normally do, but this is a good thick piece of wood, so it's okay. Got the groove cut for the bandsaw guide. That makes it easy to bandsaw doing that. So I'm going to take this off, cut it with a bandsaw, mount the chuck, and put this on the chuck and get ready to turn it on the other side. Got it mounted. I measured it. I can easily get it to 5 3/4, but I think I'll shoot for a finished 5 1/2 on the bottom. So I got plenty of material there I can cut off. I'll cut it just round, and then later I'll turn it down when I turn the outside. So I'm going to dish out the center. It's pretty thick. I can dish out the center pretty good. Leave about an inch all the way around that I'm going to flatten and then sand flat to glue on the first segmented ring. So I'm going to head and dish it out, turn it around, and flatten the edge. Okay, I cut the wood I cut a couple of pieces that are 1 inch. So they'll fit right here. Plenty of wood for that. Cut 1 piece 1.25 inches to go right here on the first ring. Now I run into a problem. When I cut it 1.25 inches, I found out this wood has a different pattern from this side to this side. And I don't like that pattern as well as I do this. So what that means, if I use this pattern, it's going to end up 1.25 inches high and only 1 inch wide, because that's the width of the material. So yeah, let me get this out. I cut it 1.25 inches to fit that ring right there, but I don't like that pattern, so if I turn it, now it's 1.25 inches high and only 1 inch wide. So I'm going to just scrap this. I'm going to scrap it out. I'm going to start all over. I decided I don't like the color match with this base. I'm going to save it for some other project. Looking at this piece of wood, I think I can get a good piece between here and here for the base. Yeah, I know I'm going to cut this up in little pieces, but that's what happens when you buy cheap wood with cracks in it. But I think I can get a good piece for a base. And then I think I'm just going to freehand it. Now, doing videos, I always draw out what I'm going to do. But when I'm not doing videos, a lot of time, most of the time, I just freehand stuff. Just work it out in my head what I want and just go ahead and make it. And I think that's what I'm going to do with this one. So first thing I'm going to do is cut this out and make a base, just like I made the other one. And when I get that base made and sanded and everything, we'll go from there. I got 16 segments cut for a ring. I made the ring 1 inch bigger than the base. That'll give me a 1/2 inch overlap everywhere. I'm going to go ahead now and just glue up the ring. And I'll make the second ring 1/2 inch bigger than this ring. And the last ring I'll probably make it either the same size as the second or maybe a 1/4 inch bigger. So it'll work out. And straightened up. Now, where'd my... That should do it. I made all 3 rings at once, turned them all flat. I've already turned and sanded the other 2. This is the last one. Got it turned flat, and I got to mark it with chalk. That's good enough. And then sand it flat till the chalk's gone with my sanding board. Little tiny spot there, just a little spot. That's got it, that's good enough. Okay, I'm going to get ready now and glue the first ring on. Ready to put the first ring on now. It's in the coal jaws. Got your live center here on it. Go in the tailstock. Put a little glue on it. That's enough glue. Put it in the tailstock. Bring her up. Spin it around a little, spread the glue out. Wow, I got too much glue on here. That's okay. Solid bottom, so I don't have to line it up any special way. Wherever it falls is fine. Spin it a little more and tighten it down just a wee bit. Spin it till it starts to grab. There we go. Tighten it up a little bit. Let it set for at least 15 minutes. It's getting late today, so I'll probably just let it set till tomorrow. Tomorrow then I'll turn the other side flat, sand it, and I'll turn the inside some, then I'll glue on the next ring. I've got all the rings on it now. I've turned the inside, first 2 rings have been turned. I'm going to turn the 3rd one. But I've got a lot of material, so I can make it just about any shape I want. However, there's one shape I'm partial to, and that's what I'm going to put on it. But they're all on. I'm ready to finish turning the inside. After I finish turning the inside, I'm going to sand it and finish the inside, and then I'll turn the outside. I've got the outside turned and sanded. See that shiny finish? That's just sanding. The Scotch-Brite pads, no finish on it, no wax, no nothing. Just sanded in the Scotch-Brite pads. Now if you see my video on sanding, but once you get the tear out, yeah, go ahead and use your 80 grit or whatever to get the tear out. But once you do that, a couple of quick passes with each grit of sandpaper. Don't skip any. Then go all the way up through the Scotch-Brite pads. That's these pads right here. Go from 400 all the way up with these, and this is what you end up with. Real quick, real easy. So I'm going to put some finish on this now. I'm probably going to put some friction polish on it. And then we'll let it sit a while, and I'll just turn it over and do the bottom. Let's just put a little bit of friction polish on it here. Here, let's burn it in. Hit the inside again real quick. One quick time. Well, I'm burning my fingers now. That's what I want. You can see how it burnt there on the paper, dried it out good. Well, I'm going to let that sit a while. Then I'm going to turn it over and do the bottom, finish it off. Okay, I've got it taped off, mounted on the coal jaws from the inside. And you'll notice because I use a mortise, there's very small amount of work I have to do here to finish the bottom. I just got to turn it, make sure it's flat all the way around, and then just kind of turn this into the bottom, just blend it in a little bit. Leave a small amount for it to sit on around the edge. Sand it a little and put some finish on it and it'll be done. Quick and easy. Turn it so it's flat all the way around here. And I just smoothed it in here. Now all I have to do is sand it and put a little finish on it. I'm not going to shine it up like the rest, just sand it and put some finish on it. Then sign it and it'll be done. Boy, I've got a complete mess here. Getting ready to do some more videos, some different things. There you have the bowl. It's called red marble wood. Interesting pattern, but the colors, well, the colors are kind of dull. They don't stand out really well. It's okay, I guess. I got that one stick. It's got enough cracks in it. I use about half the stick making this, so well, I'm not worried though. And what you've seen is when the wood didn't work out for the pattern I draw, I went ahead and did it freehand. After you make a few bowls, your favorite size, favorite shape, you pretty much know what size rings you got to make for them. So after a few, you don't need to draw out all the patterns. Once you find out, just cut the rings. Once you get the idea, and it's not that hard. I make quite a few bowls about this size, so I know pretty much how big the ring's got to be in relation to the base, how big the next ring and the third ring's got to be. So like I said, once you do a few, you don't need to draw them out anymore. So I guess this bowl's okay. Like I said, it's a nice pattern, but the colors, well, they leave a lot to be desired, I think. I don't think I'll buy any more of that wood. I don't think they have any more anyway. I think me and Bill got the last 2 sticks he had, or probably the only 2 sticks he had. I've never seen it before. Well, I appreciate you watching the video. Hope you got something from it, or maybe some entertainment at least, if nothing else. I really appreciate the people that subscribe. That way I know how many's actually watching me. And I hope you come back and see my next video. I think I'm going to do a real quick video on the woods I use and why I use them. So thank you for watching, and come back.